Thanks for joining us as always, Nasser. This is the first time the Champions Trophy will have been held since 2017. It seems an age ago, but two groups of four sides in such a crowded calendar of international cricket. But how important and exciting is this tournament, do you think?
It is exciting, and it's exciting in particular for Pakistan. Pakistan were the winners of it in 2017. They beat India famously at the Oval, Fakhar Zaman getting that magnificent 100. The scenes at the Oval were incredible that day. And Pakistan haven't hosted, albeit some of it's here in Dubai, but Pakistan haven't hosted a major ICC event since 1996, the World Cup. I know they've done a lot of work on their grounds and they're hugely excited to have the ICC event there. So it's a big thing for them, and it's another ICC event that all sides, 8 top teams, the best against the best, albeit with quite a few injuries around for some sides. But there you have the two groups. You know, any of those sides could go on to win it. It's the great thing about this tournament. There are some serious contenders there. India play all their games here in Dubai, which may be an advantage. They're also the top-ranked side in ODI cricket. Australia, who are the 50-over world champions, but they are missing 5 key players in their squad. So some top sides really looking forward to it. Conditions in Pakistan will be different from Dubai. It's a short, sharp tournament. Who knows who's going to win it?
All right, who knows? Are England genuine contenders then? Because obviously it's fair to say going into this one, they're not in the best of form, are they?
No, their recent results have not been great. Their recent results in ICC tournaments haven't been great. 50-over World Cup, they were poor. 20-over World Cup, they were knocked out in the semi-final stage. And there you have their last 4 bilateral series. They've lost all 3 of them. And recently in India, they lost heavily 3-0. So they are a side searching for form. They have gone through a huge transformation from the sort of heights of the Morgan Bayliss era, and then they had obviously Jos Buttler take over with Matthew Mott, and now Brendan McCullum has been in the job a month, and he will be trying to turn things around for England with Buttler. So it's a difficult group to get out of. They've got Australia first up on Saturday, as you say, and then they've got Afghanistan and South Africa, 2 sides that they lost to in the 50-over World Cups. So they have no easy games at all, and there's a lot of jeopardy in this tournament. You lose one, and you are really scratching your head how you're going to try and get through.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, isn't it, in terms of the format? Look, their approach has also come under some scrutiny, quite a lot, you'd have to say, with claims the work ethic isn't strong enough, lazy, some have said, not enough training in the nets. Where do you stand on all that?
Well, I wasn't in the recent tour of India, the white ball tour, so I can't comment too much. From what I heard, they practiced and trained as much as India. Maybe India did one more session. There was a lot of travelling, rest, play, travel, rest. And you have to fit that in. Maybe their batters struggling against spin could have gone off and played and had a net session. There's always a lot of young spinners in India that will run up and bowl at you, high-quality spin. But it's the sort of thing that's highlighted when you lose. When you lose, everything is questioned. When you win, it's almost like, haven't they got the balance just right between rest and play? The only thing I'll say about England, when I've seen them, and I was in Pakistan for that test series under McCullum and Stokes, they worked as hard as I've seen any England side work in those nets. So don't make out just because they go off and play a bit of golf, or they like to have time away from their hotel rooms and enjoy the country that they're in. Don't make that out to be lazy when they're at work, and they need to work. From what I have seen from England sides recently, they work hard.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because Brendan McCullum was very defensive about it, hitting back at suggestions that it was a lax schedule. And he also mentioned mental fatigue. Talk us through what that's like. Was he right to reference that, do you think?
I mean, firstly, you've got to put it into context. So there'll be people who work day in, day out, who'd absolutely love to do the job to play for England. There'll be first-class cricketers. There'll be cricketers playing club cricket, dusting off their stuff for the summer that lies ahead. They would absolutely love to be doing what Jos Buttler and Ben Stokes and every international cricketer does. It's a great life. It's a great way of doing things. But as we've seen in both football recently and cricket, I mean, you only have to look at the list of the people. The 5, not all of them are due to injury. Stoinis has retired from ODI cricket. But Australia without Stark for personal reasons. Then you've got Cummins, you've got Hazelwood, you've got Mitch Marsh, you've got Jasprit Bumrah missing because of injury. If you don't look after your cricketers, especially the faster bowlers, it does take its toll. And also what McCullum and Stokes and Butler have tried to do is make sure that they do get out. They do, here I am in a hotel room in Dubai, they do try and see the country a little bit. They do realise there is more to life than just the game of cricket and try and put it in a bit of context. But you have to get it right. You're there to play, work hard, and to win. It's as simple as that. You have to do as much as you can to win. It was no coincidence that the one player that did go out and net on his day off in India was Joe Root, who happens to be arguably the best batter that England has ever produced. And that is how you get better, by working hard, by knowing what's best for your game. And that is also about coaching and captaincy. You don't ask, they're not 11 exactly the same people there. Some people would love to just go off and do things. Some people would love to work hard. Some people want to be like me. I wanted to be in the nets every single day because it made me feel better. There were cricketers I played with like Darren Gough that you didn't want them in the nets every day. You didn't want Ian Botham, Surrey and Lord Ian Botham in the nets every day. So it's knowing your team, and you don't have to have one rule that fits absolutely everyone. But when you are together and when you are at that net session, you give it absolutely everything because you owe it to the traveling fans who are out in India or maybe Pakistan or Dubai or anywhere in the world. You owe it to people watching on the TV screen. You owe it to yourself to make sure you are as well prepared for that first game. So I think they'll be turning up to Pakistan soon. By Saturday, they have to be as well prepared to beat Australia as they possibly can be.
Nas, it sounds like you're sort of talking about a bit of a feel, it's kind of something that can't be prescribed. I know Stephen Finn's talked about actually when he was, in the nets one time, he just overdid things. He was kind of over bowling. He was, and then there's Matt Price sort of saying, actually, I needed to prepare more. And you're sort of saying, actually, it's sort of a really individual thing. Is that what Brendon McCullum perhaps is lacking a little bit at the moment? He doesn't know what works best for everyone, maybe.
I don't know about this particular white ball side. Like I say, I wasn't in India, but I don't think that's the case. I don't think you can have one rule either way. I don't think you can have one rule that fits everyone. Either way, you can't have it like we're all going to be in the nets. Naughty boy nets. We lost the last game. We used to have naughty boy nets when I was playing. They're the worst things ever. Because you lost and you've not played very well, we're going to go to the nets. Can't have that for 15, 18 cricketers, however many may be on the touring party. But you can't go the other way as well. You can't just say, we're not netting today. We're going to go off and play golf every day, all day long, because there will be certain players within that squad who know that for them, the best thing is to hit cricket balls. I often have the rule that touch players, like Joe Root, for example, are rhythm players that need to play, constantly hit balls day in, day out. I play with Graham Gooch at Essex, that every single day he got a brilliant 100 at Headingley. The very next day he was back at Chelmsford hitting balls in the nets. Then you've got fast bowlers. There is no way a fast bowler can bowl 10 overs in a 50-over game, take a flight from one place to another, check into a hotel room, get into a different bed, get up the next day sore, and you say, our batters are out of nick, can you come and bowl to them for 2 hours? And then you wonder why Jofra Archer's injured, Mark Wood's injured, Jasprit Bumrah's injured, Hazelwood, Cummins. The list is, goes on and on and on. So you can't have one rule that fits absolutely everyone. Treat everyone on an individual basis, but also, make sure that if someone is saying, I'm just not going to net, that, okay, your performance has to match what you're saying. If you think that's the best for you, make sure when you rock up and play that you show that that's what's best for you.
Yeah. What about on the field then? There's a bit of a boost at the moment. Ben Duckett's been declared fit after that groin injury scare. How big of a positive is that, do you think, especially obviously after losing Jacob Bethell to injury?
It is important because his partnership with Salt at the top of the order has been good. It's not been excellent. They need to kick on. I think that's the problem with this England side, is that they see it as an extension of T20. So there's a lot of flashy 50s or 40s and 60s that may keep you in the side and look good. But what you need is for you to go on and get 100 and win the game. If you look at the series in India, Shubman Gill, 100, they win. Rohit Sharma, 100, they win. England, Duckett and Salt in particular, and Banton, the game he played, and Joe Root a little bit. There were a lot of 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. And then the reason I'm highlighting that is they play in the power play, which is the best time to bat. And then they get out just after the power play and spin comes on. And that's the best time to have two players that are in, as opposed to exposing your middle order to spin. And then all the problems, trial by spin, happens for England. So, it's a complicated answer. But yeah, it's important Duckett is there and he's fit. But him and Salt and Root have to go on and get big runs.
And what about McCullum, in terms of it standing in the court of public opinion? How big a series do you think this is for him?
He's just joined the white ball setup. So I think in Test match cricket, I think the way England have played, there's polarised opinion. There are some that have loved the way they've played, and there are others, obviously, who feel that they give games away. There'll be declarations that didn't need to happen. There'll be shots that are played with 5 men out on the hook at Lords against Australia, and they're still taking them on. So they have polarised opinion, but they have been incredibly watchable. And Stokes' results as a Test match captain are right up there with the best in the world. In white ball cricket, I think more of the focus will go on Jos Buttler. I think McCullum has just joined the setup. Buttler didn't have a great 50-over World Cup. They lost the semi-final of the T20 World Cup. His form has faded a little bit as captain in the 50-over side. And for me, Buttler is the most important player for England in this tournament. I'd probably even consider him batting higher up the batting lineup, to be honest. He needs to be coming in before a crisis as opposed to when a crisis is already taking place. So I think the focus, if they don't have a good tournament, will go on Buttler.
Okay. What about the games themselves then? You've touched on them a little bit. Pakistan against India, England against Australia, to name just two. Who's the edge in those two fixtures, do you feel?
Well, a month ago, Australia, but I think now Australia, like I said, have come back to the pack with the 5 injuries they've got. So that's a great opportunity for England if they can win that one, because like with South Africa and Afghanistan, that would be a huge boost to confidence after what happened in India. Then it's the biggest game in all of cricket, isn't it? Here in Dubai, India, Pakistan. One of the great rivalries, a rerun of the 2017 final where Pakistan won. India are favourites. Listen, they are the best side. They're #1 ranked side. They are, without Bumrah, the best player on the planet. Not the best bowler, the best cricketer on the planet right now. And that will hurt them. But with the batting depth and the spin options that they have, and Shami maybe just coming back from injury and getting a few more overs into him. So India are the side to beat, without doubt.
OK, and if someone was watching, who are the names that you think might light this tournament up? Somebody that we might not know about, do you think?
There's plenty on all the sides, really. I'd like Fakhar Zaman from Pakistan to have a good tournament. He got that 100 at the Oval in 2017. He's been out of the side recently. He's just come back in. And with Pakistan, if they can have a great tournament at home, that will go so much for their cricket and what they've missed at home. So with Babar Azam and Mohammad Rizwan in that middle order who can bat through, what they need is an explosive player. What they've been crying out for is that explosive player. And Fakhar Zaman likes this tournament, and it would be great for them if he could have a really good tournament. So I'm looking out for him, but who knows? There's so many good players. And it's an opportunity with all the injuries. It's an opportunity for people to come in and do well, whichever team that is.
Right, I'm going to put you on the spot just finally then. Can you pick a winner for us?
Yeah, I'm going to go India. I just think they've got so much batting depth. Whoever they pick, Rohit Sharma back in runs, Shubman Gill in this format is just magnificent all the way down. They have good spin bowling all-rounders. I think Akshar Patel is a wonderful cricketer, Jadeja, Washington Sundar. They just have so many spin bowling all-rounder options. So I'm going to go India. But listen, we've not even spoken about South Africa. They're a top side. We've not spoken about New Zealand. They've just won the triangular in Pakistan. They've toured Pakistan more than any other side, and they've literally a couple of days ago beat Pakistan in the triangular. Kane Williamson in magnificent form. So it's a tough one to call. I'll go India, but could be anyone.